Man. Got me again. Good game. Hey, everybody. Wave LA. Great to see everybody. Happy Saturday to you, wherever you're watching this in your quarantine reality. I know it continues to be a tough time for so many people. Hey, speaking of guarding, I want to talk to you for a moment about guarding. There's a proverb written from what we call the ancient books. There is the book of Psalms, which speaks about worship. There's the book of Ecclesiastes, which talks about this idea of life and how to go about living life. Even Job tells us about suffering. And then the writer of the wisdom book, Solomon, has a passage taken from the Proverbs, which is also known as the short sayings. And he says in Proverbs 4, verse 23, "Guard your heart with all diligence, because out of it flows the issues of life." That's right, Solomon says, guard your heart. Most of the time when we think of guarding, we think of trying to prevent someone from scoring from us, and so we block. That's part of it, we should block. But also guarding means maybe we're open to things, but we want to be mindful. He says, guard your heart with all diligence, because out of it flows the issues of life. Oftentimes when we think of our heart, we think of desires and our feelings. That's part of it too. Yeah, but our heart really, Solomon says, is the basis. It's the foundation from which everything flows. It's our actions, our thoughts, our deeds, our words. And so Solomon says we should guard our heart. And in doing so, we're mindful of this, because out of right here, the heart flows the issues of life. I used to go fishing when I was a young kid, and there was a body of water, this lake in which we were fishing, and sometimes I had a chance to even go to places where there was a stream and this water would flow. We know streams have upstreams and downstreams, and the whole point of it is there is sort of this apex from which all of life flows out of that body of water. And so Solomon says, out of this water, out of this sort of wellspring of life flows a plethora of different things. And so he says to guard that. Why? Because out of that flows every aspect related to our lives. And so we should guard it. We should be mindful of that. And so I guess the message for today is, hey, listen, be open to what God wants to do for you and through you with your gifts and your talents. Be mindful that he is the ultimate person you should look to help you guard your heart. God, is this purposeful? Is this consistent with the gifts you've given me, with the talents you've given me, with the resources you've given me? God, will this allow me to score this direction I'm taking, this path I'm choosing, this relationship I'm in? In fact, I often tell people there are three things or three areas we should be mindful of guarding. We should guard our resources. That means our gifts, our talents, our treasures. We should be mindful, guard our relationships, and also we should guard ultimately our response to how we deal with life and life issues that come our way. Sometimes we're so quick to respond to things. We need to guard that. We need to be mindful of those relationships and also, of course, our resources. So there it is. Guard your heart with all diligence. Out of it flows the issues of life. Proverbs 4:23. Hey, make it a great day, Wave LA.